Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Andrew Stott, I'm the Emperor of Stomaria, and today I'm very pleased to announce that the Kingdom of Solacia has been incorporated into the Empire of Stomaria as an observer state. So the Kingdom of Solacia is a micronation that's based in Germany, more specifically North Germany, and it is governed by Queen Neve. Now, Queen Neve actually became a Stomarian citizen and a Waywoodian citizen at the same time, and it wasn't until some days later that King Raoul of Waywood actually messaged me to say, did you know that Neve is actually the queen of their own micronation? Because Neve did not actually inform either myself or Raoul that she was the queen of a micronation. And it wasn't until Raoul messaged her to ask if she wanted to be announced on their Facebook page that she was a citizen of Waywood, that they actually found out that she was also the queen of another micronation. And so I took it upon myself to message Queen Neve, and we had a very long exchange in terms of the sheer volume of the content by email, and then it culminated in a video call, which wasn't supposed to go on as long as it did, but we ended up talking for some 2 hours or more, having a video call, just sort of going through what the Kingdom of Solacia was, where it came from, where it's going, why they wanted to become an observer state within the Empire of Stomaria. And there was a lot of conversation, like wide-ranging conversation that we had, and I'm not going to go into too much of that because I do like to keep a lot of the details, especially if they're personal to the individual. I like to keep those private because there is a confidence there, I think, that's implied when I have these conversations with people, be they WhatsApp or Skype or Zoom or whatever it might be. I do like to make sure that people know that when they talk to me in confidence, that I'm not going to talk about things that they don't want me to talk about. So what I will say about the Kingdom of Solacia is that it's one of those micronations which has been around for a long time, but only in the sense that the individual that has created it has been building it by themselves for that period of time. That is to say, Queen Neve, I think it was, I'm sure it was 4 years ago, give or take, that Solacia was first sort of established, if you like. But, they don't have an online presence. So they don't have a Facebook page or a YouTube channel or a Twitter account or whatever else. They will do. They are looking to set one up very shortly. And as soon as they do, I will provide links to those. Just as an aside, Queen Neve is, quite. She carries herself in a good way. She's calm, collected. She speaks concisely and clearly, and it's a very good trait to have when you're creating YouTube videos. And I look forward to seeing some of those videos, along with Prince Alexander's videos from Moorland and King Raoul's videos on YouTube or Facebook, or wherever else he may be posting them. These sorts of videos in conjunction with my own, it helps to build a picture of Stomaria and the Micronations within Stomaria. And having this catalogue of Micronations, this sort of this index almost, is really great, because we're sort of gradually putting, it's almost like we have a blank, a blank canvas, and we're just gradually filling in the pieces, filling in the details, until you can actually see sort of the vision become reality. And as I said, I had this conversation with Queen Neve. When was it? It was actually yesterday evening. The days fly by. But it was actually yesterday evening when I had this conversation with her, and she was telling me all about the ways in which she would like to become involved in Stomaria, in terms of providing us with certain materials and allowing us to benefit from the various skills that she has. And she also is looking to pay a state visit, if you like, to Stomaria, or more specifically to Wayward at some point, where we can hopefully all get together and have like I don't know, maybe a mini MicroCon, I suppose you could call it, just a gathering of Micronational leaders. But unlike other sort of conventions or meetings, all these Micronations will be affiliated directly with the Empire of Stomaria, either as a very closely integrated ally or as a part of Stomaria itself. So, those sorts of meetings are what, we've been building up for, building up to. This is, the reason, the rationale for our existence, to build that real world community as the first step, but also to build that trade network to reduce reliance on and contributions to the Micronations in which we are part of, which until recently was primarily, if not exclusively, the United Kingdom, but would now also include, I suppose, Germany. So, this is a positive step in the right direction for us. They are the second observer state of Stomaria. The first one is the Kingdom of Norwick, which is actually based in New Zealand. But in terms of close collaboration and integration with Stomaria, I do have high hopes for the Kingdom of Solacia in particular, because of the way they carry themselves, the way that that their keenness, their eagerness to actually play a part in the development of Stomaria and the community that we're looking to build. And I think that is the driving force. I mean, geography does play a big part in all of this, in the sense that the Kingdom of Wayward, for example, is critically important to the Empire of Stomaria, not just because they consist of land, private freehold land which we can utilise, but also because they are geographically close to where me, the imperial family, reside. They're little more than an hour away, just driving there. Whereas when it gets to, Jersey, where Moorland is, or North Germany, where Solacia is, or, New Zealand, where the Kingdom of Norwick is, it becomes a little bit more difficult to sort of, build that real world relationship. But it's great to see that there is enthusiasm and desire and intent to actually, try and accomplish this. And so that's what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks and months, is just ironing out a few more details regarding meetups. We have, I think, solidified a date for Moorland and Wayward and Stomaria to congregate at the Wayward Woodland later in June. I'll have more details about that later. But just to get back onto Solacia in particular, because as always I go on my little tangents. But the name Solacia, for those who are interested, is actually derived from the word solace. The flag of Solacia is like a Celtic pagan emblem. I was talking to Queen Neve about this for some time, because I'm, not, entirely knowledgeable about sort of pagan symbols and identities, and the difference between the the different branches and the different belief systems of each of them. But it is I recognize it as a Celtic pagan symbol. And there was some questions and queries about Wayward's own sort of affiliation with paganism, which I couldn't answer with a huge amount of confidence, because I don't know which kind of branch they're of. But there are going to be conversations going forward about that, and I know King Raoul is very interested in Solacia for that same reason, because they are both pagan micronations, in the sense that the founders of those micronations have varying degrees of beliefs that revolve around paganism. But just to say that for both micronations, I think it is fair for me to say it's not a rule that you have to be a pagan to be a part of those micronations. It's just something that they want to promote more of. I mean, the simpler environmental, ecological lifestyle, not so much sort of Western consumerism, but more, back to a simpler time, if you like, a more grassroots. Just imagine, like, pre-Roman Celtic villages, and then you kind of get the gist of the sort of the vision they have of what they would consider to be the ideal. Sort of working alongside nature and living simpler lifestyles and all that sort of thing. But I won't do them justice by trying to describe it in detail here, so I'm not going to try to go much further than that. But if you are interested in finding out more, then as I say, Queen Neve will be setting up a YouTube channel and a website, and we'll have contact details where you can contact them directly to ask more about it, and they will be able to post videos, and they will be explaining themselves in more detail there as well. And I look forward to seeing those videos, and I look forward to hearing more about Solacia, as well as the other micronations that are a part of Stomaria, who are now also making video content. But yeah, I mean, that's the announcement, if you like. It's something I'm very excited about, because it's not every day that we get a micronation that wishes to involve themselves in that way. By becoming a part of Stomaria itself. It does take a great deal of dedication, I suppose, to the overall vision, the overall goal, because a lot of people, I think, micronationalists, having to swallow their pride a little bit in order to become part of something larger, that can be quite difficult. Not just by becoming a part of the Empire of Stomaria, for instance, but also micronational organizations, or a larger grouping of some sort. But it is great to see that there are micronations who are looking to become a part of Stomaria and to play a part in the community that we're looking to build. And as an aside, I suppose, if you are one of those people who either is looking to establish a micronation, has established a micronation, or wishes to join a micronation, then the Empire of Stomaria is always an option for those who want to become a part of something larger. Either those who want to become, what you might call pure Stomarians, people that aren't affiliated with another micronation. But if you are the highest authority of an established micronation, and you are, you tick the right boxes from our perspective, then you can also become an observer state, or an associated state, or a protectorate, depending on the question of land. And I think I will just touch on this quickly, because I realise now that I haven't actually explained what an observer state is, for those who don't already know. But the Empire of Stomaria is divided into observer states, associated states, protectorates, and provinces. An observer state is the sort of what you might call entry-level tier, in the sense that unlike provinces, protectorates, and associated states, which all require a micronation to own private property, or for the imperial family to own private property and for that micronation to govern it, an observer state doesn't require a micronation to hold private freehold land. But it's for micronations that nevertheless want to become a part of the trade network and community that we're looking to build, with the intention of eventually accumulating private freehold land themselves, which they can utilise in order to help us accomplish our objectives further down the line. But at that point, they wouldn't become an observer state, they would be an associated state. But that's all by the by. I just wanted to quickly go over what exactly an observer state was, just for those who didn't know. So, if you enjoyed this video and you wanted to become a part of the Stomarian community in some form, then you can do so through our Patreon campaign, the link of which I shall leave in the description below as always. But otherwise, please feel free to give the video a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.